Jonah, I want you to go to Nineveh.
Nah, that's all right. No, man, you're going the wrong way. You're going the wrong way. Tarshish me, please. Thank you.
Man, what did you do?
Dear Jonah, sometimes our disobedience causes problems for other people. The word of the Lord came to Jonah, son of Amittai. Go to the great city of Nineveh and preach against it, because its wickedness has come up before me. But Jonah ran away from the Lord and headed for Tarshish. He went down to Joppa, where he found a ship bound for that port. After paying the fare, he went aboard and sailed for Tarshish to flee from the Lord. Then the Lord sent a great wind on the sea, and such a violent storm arose that the ship threatened to break up. All the sailors were afraid, and each cried out to his own God. And they threw the cargo into the sea to lighten the ship. But Jonah had gone below deck, where he lay down and fell into a deep
Praise
sleep.
him, friends. So here we are with our friend Jonah. Our poor Old Testament prophet friend Jonah. Lord have mercy, Jonah. Here we are with our friend Jonah. It's important you get a little bit of backstory to understand why it is that Jonah did not want to go to Nineveh. Nineveh was the capital of the Assyrian Empire, and back in the day, Assyrians were taking over everything. They were conquering everything and taking over stuff and torturing, conquering people, enslaving people. I mean, they were doing it. You hear me? So there was a lot of evil things going on in Nineveh. And God wanted Jonah to go to Nineveh. He wanted him to go to Nineveh because he wanted him to tell them, listen, if you don't change your ways, I'm going to destroy your city. Can you imagine what the Ninevites would have been like? They were taking over, they were destroying every other city, taking over places. Can you imagine OT prophet Jonah coming in talking about God said, change your ways or I'm going to destroy your city? I'm sorry. What? So Jonah didn't really want to go to the capital of the Assyrian Empire and tell them that. But God had given Jonah clear instructions on what he wanted him to do. I mean, there was evil that was happening all around. You know, truthfully, in Israel at the time, there was an evil king sitting on the throne. And people around Jonah didn't want to hear what was going on anyway. But he wanted him to go to Nineveh to tell, gosh, these people that are just taking over everything and destroying everything. And I don't want to tell them anything that, I mean, God, you sending me on a suicide mission. Don't do that. Don't do that, God. So you know what, God? I'm not going. You want to send me to Nineveh? Which was in modern day, in the area of modern day Iraq. You want to send me there? Yeah. I'm going to take the first boat out to Tarshish, baby, which is modern day Spain. So you can take your devices out and pull that up and see what that's looking like. Modern day Iraq to modern day Spain. Thousands of miles in the opposite direction from where God told him to go. But for Jonah, there were consequences to his disobedience. And aren't there always consequences to our disobedience? In this case, Jonah was on a boat and was about to get a bunch of other people killed, but they could tell that something was off. They said, cry out to you, pray to your God, pray to you, whoever, whatever your God is, pray to that God. So they weren't even believing in the God we serve and knew something was off. So there'll be times when we've been called by God to do things, even in our youth. I'm a witness of that. Because when I was young, I was called to preach, and I just didn't want to do it. The call had always been there. There was nothing I could shake. There was nothing I could do to stop it. I had to accept that call that was on my life. I don't know what the call is that's on your life, but I know that God has called each of us to do something. And we're not all preachers, and we're not all teachers. Some are pastors, some are evangelists. We all each have something God has asked us to do, and we all have different spiritual gifts. Some of us have gifts of faith. Some of us have gift of encouragement. You ever talk to somebody who just had that gift of encouragement, and you left them and you were like, yeah, I can do anything. Let's go, So we've all been called to do different things, and we've all been gifted to do different things. But I just came by to tell you today that whatever it is God has asked you to do it. Because there are people that are around you who are counting on you to do it. The people on this ship were like, what is going on, and who is it that's causing all this trouble for us? And the thing is, if you look in the text, Jonah was like, hey, throw me overboard and, you'll be all right. They didn't want to do that. They didn't want his life, on their heads. So they trying to row the boat. They trying to row the boat. It didn't work. Okay. So I just came by today to just tell you and encourage you today. Whatever it is God has called you to do, God has already equipped you to do. So Jonah just didn't want to go, but he was already equipped to do it. So I encourage you, whatever that is, go be it. Walk in obedience today. Whatever it is God has called you to. So we love you with the love of Christ, and we hope that you will go in the direction that the Lord is calling you. God bless you. See you next week.